What's up, everybody? This is Zach, joined along with
Derek Diamond
and Robbie Rawls.
guys. How's it been going?
Been going pretty good.
Good. Yeah, it's been a nice, relaxing Monday. Actually, got to do some productive things at work today.
Not a manic Monday.
Not a manic Monday.
Good. I hate manic Mondays.
Manic Monday.
Yep.
I'm usually the one that sings on the podcast.
I know. I let it open for either one of you. Now, this is our
First ever
third live podcast, and this time around we're going with Google Hangouts because Twitch screwed us over. And you can find us on YouTube, and every week we bring you this podcast on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
On iTunes, Stitcher Radio. You can stream it at nerdcavenetwork.com. And coming soon, we will be on SoundCloud. So
exactly. So
nice.
You can find us on SoundCloud, which will open up a lot of possibilities there.
Oh, yeah.
The bigger people, people that don't want to go with the crappy iPhone podcast app, go with SoundCloud or something like that. Kevin Smith uses it. Good Mythical Morning, Rhett and Link uses it. But anyway, had some interesting things happen this week, especially on the Marvel side of things.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and let you start off and just put it out on Front Street.
Well, big news, at least in my opinion, has been Marvel has finally found their Spider-Man. And that is Tom Holland, who is a 19-year-old British actor. So he's going to be the second consecutive British actor to play Peter Parker. And
that is interesting.
Yes.
They've been both.
And I can't remember the other guy who it was narrowed down to Tom Holland and some other guy.
Was it Butterfield? Was it
No,
him?
he was out of the running
A long time ago.
Yeah.
In a galaxy far, far away.
Yes.
Was it the Great Collie?
We got one viewer. Thank you for watching. I'm pretty sure that's going to be Ashlyn, but
Probably
thank you
so.
for watching, Ashlyn.
Yeah, absolutely.
We appreciate it. Make sure everybody else watches this.
Tell your friends.
Yep.
But anyway,
And your mother.
he's 19 years old, and he actually looks like a legitimate high school teenager, and he actually looks like he's a bit of a nerd. So
Okay.
looks wise, I'm very happy with the casting. And what's cool is, and I hate because I can't remember the name of the director, but I read
Mark
today.
Webb.
No, it's not Mark Webb, but the movies are going to have a John Hughes vibe to them. If you don't know who that is, he directed like The Breakfast Club, 16 Candles, Home Alone. So it's going to have a lot of humor,
Okay.
which I think is good for Spider-Man. So
Yeah, especially when Spider-Man comes over as that sarcastic, funny superhero and stuff like that. So I think it's going to go very well.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm happy with the casting,
And
and
he looks fantastic to be playing Spidey-Man.
Mhm.
Yeah. The only person I think would have done a better job and looked more the part would be Vin Diesel.
We're starting with that this early, huh?
Yep. We started it there.
Only if Hugh Jackman could play the Green Goblin.
No, he has to be Uncle Ben.
Well, no, then that means he died.
Exactly.
You're a terrible human
Exactly.
being.
No, I think it's a really good casting. I like his look. I hope with the Amazing Spider-Man, I think they started off really well, and then after the second movie, I think they were in this deal with Marvel, and from the things that I heard, that Andrew Garfield kind of shot himself in the foot in some meetings with the Sony execs over in Japan.
He was
and-
really disrespectful.
yeah, and in that culture that you have to have that respect in
Yeah.
the Japanese culture and
They
everything.
take being disrespected very, very seriously.
Exactly. And I want to even say that he was on his phone during one of the meetings or something. It was something very disrespectful, and that pretty much sealed his fate there. Hey, we got another viewer. Thank you for watching. I think we got a chat somewhere around here. Is that our chat? Yep, somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Let
There
us
we
know
go.
who I was watching.
Yeah, let us know who in the comments, and there we go, our second viewer again. But we have a question section and a comment section, so we'll take questions at the end of the podcast. So just make sure you put your questions in there so we don't lose track of them.
Absolutely.
Google is taking over everything.
Yep.
Sorry about my hair. I got this weird thing.
Yeah.
Like I didn't want to like sit on the corner because of my hair. Is that 3? We got 3. Woo! Now we saw today, which was very exciting. the Guardians of the Galaxy 2, the title card.
Well, it's volume 2.
Whatever, I don't care. It's number 2.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Which kind of goes along with, the awesome mix.
Yeah, we've got a little bit of decoration here on
We
the
got
table.
some decorum up in
Mhm.
here. But I was excited to see it's a 2017 release.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And as Guardians of the Galaxy is one of my favorite Marvel movies.
As far as the Marvel Studios movies, it's my favorite.
Yeah. My order of things overall would be Daredevil, Guardians. Totally different feels.
Yeah.
Daredevil, Guardians, Iron Man 1.
I would agree
Yeah.
with that.
Those are my top 3. Just Iron Man 1 is one of the best movies ever.
What's
Definitely.
cool?
It started everything for us.
Welcome, 4th viewer. I don't know who you are. Please comment so we know who you are.
Yeah, let us know. We want to know names. We want to
Yeah.
talk to you.
Speaking of 2017,
It might be on our YouTube side of everything, which is a whole nother ball game. Let's see. Live control. Keep going.
But anyway, what's crazy about 2017 is you've got Guardians coming out in May, and then in July you'll have the first solo Spider-Man under the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then later that year you will have Thor Ragnarok. So
I'm excited.
I'm not.
it's going to be
Thor's horrible.
Horrible.
No, I think that that Thor is, after Avengers, I think it's going to be really, really good because it set up a lot of things for Thor,
Yeah.
but didn't touch on it in Avengers, like him going in the water and like taking a bath or whatever that was.
Well, it was a sacred. It's one of the mystical places that are on Earth.
Yeah.
Because I was confused by it too, and I did a little research on it. But when he got the vision of Thanos, he wanted to go deeper into that vision and kind of see what's happening. And that's when he saw the Infinity Gauntlet and everything like that. So
Yeah, we're getting all of these. Bob Saget. Hey, Bob Saget. We're
shout out to Bob Saget.
We've got 2 different things. We get on YouTube and Google Hangouts, so it's going to be a little bit back and forth. So if y'all see me moving back and forth, it's because of that.
do you also whip your hair back and forth?
I do whip my hair back and forth.
I don't have any hair. That's why I wear a hat.
So but
We have 2 viewers now.
we have 2 viewers. Hey, but that's okay. That's okay because we scared them off. But I'm excited for Guardians, and also with that. Did y'all see the leaked footage for Captain America?
I haven't had a chance to
I
watch
have
it
not
yet.
either.
Yeah, it looks pretty beast.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I think that movie is actually going to be really, really good. That might make it into the top 3.
It definitely has a chance.
Like
What happened in the footage?
You want me to tell you?
I'm gonna watch.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to watch
Well,
it.
it starts out with a lot
It's
of.
not like you're spoiling. It's already spoiled.
Starts off with some VO, like of some older generals from World War II, some shots from World War II.
What's VO?
Voiceover.
Thank you.
For the ones that don't know, it's voiceover, and it has Patton even talking about how war is pretty much hell and everything.
Patton is one of the Hulks. That's Ross. Never mind.
Yes, General Patton is one of the Hulk's main enemies, but you have Patton talking and everything, and it brings in it has the same feel, but it brings in the first Avenger. Like they bring back the first Avenger in, which is really nice. But it starts going into some talking about how there's a superhuman registration act and everything, and they start talking. Steve Rogers is like, I'm going to have to choose the side that's right, and it just keeps going, and it shows some clips of Iron Man talking to Rhodey, and just keeps cutting from all of these different heroes, and then it has this voiceover, "You thought I was dead," and it shows Crossbones, and it's just like he looks so beast in this movie, and it just because he has the full costume, with
he has the mask and everything,
so he looks even bigger than what he was. So I'm super excited. This mouse is so loud. Okay, got it. What does that even say?
Can you see me? It's Jason from PCP. Hey, Jason.
Jason, we can't see you right now because the way we have it set up this time is that we're going to be the ones in the shot and everything. So that's why people aren't showing up this time around. So
Also, I got a text from Ashland on the YouTube side. We seem kind of fuzzy.
it's kind of fuzzy. Well, that's what we got.
That's all good.
Yeah,
But
we're still
anyway,
good.
this is an experiment in and of itself. But the trailer looked awesome, and then it just rolls in like the Captain America, and then you see Civil War click in, and it's a 2016 release in May.
So they actually mentioned the Registration Act.
Yeah, they do. They say it's
Interesting.
a Superhuman Registration Act, and it's not an identity thing. I think it's where it's going to be all the superhumans have to be under like some kind of governors,
Some type of regulation.
Yeah.
And that's what I figured they were going to do, because there's so many identities in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that everybody knows who they are. There's no mask. There's no and nobody's sitting.
The only one that's going to be not known is Spider-Man.
Yeah,
He's the only one.
And he's only going to have a cameo. So
Yeah, exactly.
That's where I figured they were going to go, because I agree with Captain America that, if this was a thing that was really happening, that no country should have control of all the superheroes.
Exactly,
So,
because then you have a superhuman army,
Exactly, and
that's
no
not
other.
fair.
And the superheroes are supposed to be, protecting the world, not just one nation.
Yeah, not America or anything like that.
So I believe if I was in this, Civil War, I would be on Cap's side.
well, if you think about it, with them introducing like Black Panther in this movie, it's not just going to be about America. It's going to reach to other parts of the world.
You got
So
Africa with Wakanda.
Mhm.
Which isn't really an African.
Which they brought that in Ultron as well. So
because
Yeah.
they had the vibranium.
Mhm.
the vibrators.
Vibranium.
Vibranium vibrators.
Yep,
Oh, God.
exactly.
They'd never break.
Well, I mean,
Go
we
for days.
I do want to give a quick shout out. We got a question from Jason. We were on the Pop Culture Palette last week,
Mhm.
and that was one of the most fun times I've had doing a podcast.
Oh yeah,
It
it
was.
was 6 guys, 6 nerdy guys.
The long-awaited
one cup.
crossover.
Yeah, we actually had both sets. We had our 3, their 3. It was awesome. I had a ton of fun, and the longer we got in it, we started getting in a little
Groove.
Yeah, we did.
little flow right there. Getting closer to the end.
Because
we were
at
just,
first it was like somebody trying to talk, but then it was like we paused just enough to let other people talk, and then we switched in and switched out.
yeah, it was
So,
really
I mean-
nice. But I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. If you want to check out that episode, you can go to our website, Nerd Cave Network, and find the Pop Culture Palette episode on there.
And you can also subscribe to their show on iTunes and their website, PCPradio.com.
Exactly.
So
Hey, Amy, thank you that we're looking good. But yeah, I'm super excited about all the Marvel stuff. Marvel is really kicking it up. And I saw today that the showrunner for Daredevil pretty much says Daredevil season 2 is Daredevil versus Punisher. So that pretty much confirms everybody's thoughts that it's going to be them fighting each other, which will be really interesting because both of them go after the mafia.
well, have you seen the logo for season 2?
With the bullet holes
Yeah.
all in it. Yeah, it looks BA.
Yeah.
So I'm super stoked for it. It's going to be so cool. Daredevil, if you have not watched Daredevil, please go and watch it on Netflix. If you got Netflix, there's no reason not to watch it. And if you're watching this show, you definitely need to watch it.
I'll even
Amy,
say
Daredevil.
this.
I just called you out.
Even if you don't want to pay for Netflix, you can get a 30-day free trial. Get the
Yes.
free trial,
Binge watch.
then
is what
watch
Netflix is
Daredevil,
for.
and
Mhm.
then get rid of your
Nope.
subscription.
Watch House of Cards.
I actually
watch House of
I
Cards.
was talking to Lee about Daredevil. He got into it. He's like, he's taken a couple weeks off of watching. I was like, you need to finish it. I was like,
You do.
Yeah.
He said it's good and everything, but I
You
mean,
do. You definitely do. It's something. Welcome our 5th viewer. Thank you for watching. What?
Bob Saget's messaging me on apparently his name is Dakota Hayes. I'm
Hey,
sorry,
Dakota Hayes.
I just blew your identity.
Yep.
Shout out
You
to
just
Dakota
got
Hayes,
registered with the Nerd Cave.
part of the Nerd Cave registration.
Are you
app.
on the Google Hangout side of it?
No, I'm on Facebook.
Oh, okay, cool. But one thing that I want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I finished Arkham Knight last night. I'm not going to ruin it. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. I just want to say that it's probably one of the best games that I've played.
Is it the best Arkham game?
That's really hard. It had a lot of good things, but Arkham Asylum's still my favorite.
Really?
Just because it's so close to what the animated series was. It had a lot more beat. So I like that one a little bit more, but the vastness of Arkham Knight, the huge maps, everything that, that they brought in the Batmobile. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with the Batmobile because they put in so many elements that you have to use the Batmobile for that is ridiculous, that you have to get through this tank combat to get to the next level. And it's so ridiculously hard, and it's not it gets boring after a while. Okay, well, it's a red light. Dash over here. It's over here. It's a war of attrition pretty much. And I understand that that's what they were going for, that, Batman's with these overwhelming odds has to, use his Batmobile, blah, 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 and all of this. But some of the things that happen in the game that if they would have stuck to it, would have made it such a better game. Some of the storytelling elements, I'm not going to give away anything, but if they would have stuck to their guns the whole time, I would have enjoyed it way more. But amazing looking. You can see the gameplay that we have on YouTube of Harley Quinn, Red Hood, and we did a multiplayer Monday where Batman looks drunk.
I was the drunk driver behind the Batmobile. It's just the style of driving.
It's so much
it's different because like in Need for Speed or anything like that, I killed it. But
no, we didn't.
I did. I was stinking awesome. But I get behind the Batmobile and I'm just like,
yeah, it's pretty sad. You can definitely see it in that video. But the Batmobile is my biggest complaint. Not the whole Batmobile itself, but that welcome our sixth viewer. But it's interesting. We got any new questions? What is this? I can't read that. Robbie, you're gonna have to read that. But
horrible eyes.
Well, I can.
Premium vibrators sounds like a band name.
That was my band name in high school.
We need something with a little bit bigger screen next time.
Well, we'll have to put the TV back over there. But one thing, we were watching it with all of Amy's family because actually Allie, Amy's sister, the Batman playthrough, Allie, Amy's sister, actually edited Multiplayer Monday. Congratulations, first video that you edited for us. And Julian, her dad, Amy's dad, was watching it. He's like, "Is that a woman driver?" Making fun of you. I was like, I've got to tell him that. So
that's awesome.
It was pretty bad.
He said, "I'm never gonna let him drive my car."
I'm a really safe driver, but it's just the Batman driving style is just different from any game I've ever played that has driving in it. Yeah, so that's my excuse, and Zach can attest to it.
It is very different. I don't like it because, okay, most video games you have your gas on the right trigger and you have your brake on the left trigger. In this game, your left trigger turns you into a tank.
Yeah,
and your brake is square, so it's something that even I've beat the game. I still hit L2 to stop, and I just turn into a tank. I'm like, all right, that works, whatever. So it's just something that you have to get used to. But it's an awesome game. I really like it. Some of the story elements, I wish that would have been a little bit bigger. But it still all worked out, and I enjoyed it. So
just want to give a shout out to Bob Saget. I've actually played Destiny with him. His gamer tag is XXAM Spoderman.
Okay, Spoderman.
But he's just like he said, "Your guys' podcast is great."
So, thank you,
man.
Yeah, thanks.
Shout out to XX Spoderman. Is that it?
XX. Wait, where is it? AM.
XXAM
X.
Spoderman. And he plays on Xbox One. If y'all
Yes.
want to hook up with him on Destiny. And Jason had commented that's the most fun that he's had recording a show.
Oh
So,
yeah, like
it's
it was-
because
yeah.
you got the Nerd Cave up in there. There's
Yeah.
nothing better than
well,
us.
technically we're all the Nerd Cave.
Well, they're the Nerd Cave Network. We're the Nerd Cave Podcast.
yeah.
So, but you know, you got the best podcaster in the world.
And if Nick is watching,
Nick Young.
Nick Young.
We have Nick Young.
But
Shout out to Nick.
I didn't mean to leave you off on the Facebook tag. I just assumed that you like had known about it and that you are watching it. And I was just getting, people who might not know that.
Steve Slavi Kasan. Anytime I see his name, it's somebody that you interview.
Mhm, Steve Kassan. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a big nerd.
I always think his name is Khaleesi. My mind just makes it in Khaleesi.
He's
So
a
Steve
big
Khaleesi.
nerd. He's Canadian and he loves pro wrestling. So
Hey,
Hey,
he is right up my alley.
Yep.
If he is a Canadian and likes wrestling,
he's got a nice, strong Canadian
Hello,
accent too.
I like Canadian accents. There's a lot of comments coming in, but that's good. Now, I don't know if you've seen this.
I see a lot of things.
I don't
see
think-
all things.
I don't think you're not omnipotent. yeah.
Omnipotent.
Anyway, what were you gonna say?
That I don't know what I was actually going to say. Oh, if you can sports
like-
right, here's something. If you can sports right, you actually can try to get on with the Heat. I saw that today. I thought that was awesome.
Ooh,
If I was a sports writer, I would be all over it.
Speaking of Heat, did you see who decided to opt out of his contract today?
You mean opt in?
Did it say opt in or opt
Are you
out?
talking about Luau Deng?
No, I'm talking about Dwayne Wade.
Oh, I knew he was. I figured that he was going to opt out.
Yeah, I was about to say. I thought I read it as opt out. But yeah,
Now, I think that's Steve right there. What is that right there?
yeah, that is.
Jesus, with the sweet Terminator skull.
Are you guys pumped for Genisys? This actually brings up a story that I wanted to tell, and I'll tell that real quick, and then I'll get to my thoughts on Genisys. I was watching an episode of Jimmy Fallon before
Mhm.
we started, and one of the guests was Arnold. And
I'll be back.
You know, everybody has an Arnold. Like
Yeah.
he's one of those that everybody has.
but
an Arnold.
but no one's Arnold can touch Ralph Garman's.
Man, Ralph Garman's is
Yeah,
amazing.
yes, it
Ralph
is really
Garman's
good.
is-
Yeah,
Are you finally listening to Hollywood Babylon?
I'm getting into it a little
See,
bit.
that is the one show that I try to get you into the most. Screw you, Derek. Screw you.
I did catch up on Smodcast and Fat Man on Batman
Man, that last Smodcast was
with the Jurassic World.
was hilarious.
Oh my god, Kevin Smith's laugh just.
I know.
Anytime he laughs, I cannot stop myself from laughing.
If you
like, hysterically.
listen to the live show of Hollywood Babylon, I almost wrecked my car. Like they did a live show on
Which doesn't surprise me.
YouTube. Oh, shut up. They did a live show on YouTube, and just some of the stuff they said is hilarious. It was one
Yeah.
of my favorites. But go ahead.
Anyway, one of Jimmy Fallon's guests was Arnold Schwarzenegger,
Mm-hmm.
and he had this contest where one random person would win a trip out to LA for the premiere of Terminator Genisys.
Mm-hmm.
And he decided that he was going to call the person while he was on Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, cool.
So they call the guy, they put him on speakerphone, put the speaker up to the microphone. The guy answers. And at first it's Jimmy Fallon, and he was like, I think the guy's name was Steve or something. He's like, "Hey, Steve, this is Jimmy Fallon from The Tonight Show. How are you?" And the guy just kind of pauses and he goes, "Hey, I'm great. How are you?" And then Jimmy Fallon's like, "Oh, well, I'm sorry I bored you there for a second." But he's like, "I wanted to give you an announcement, but I've got a friend here who's actually going to tell you that, and his name is Arnold Schwarzenegger."
Hey,
So he gives the phone.
job.
So he gives the phone to Arnold, and he says, "Hey, Steve, you know how you're going to get to L.A.? Get to the chopper."
that is awesome.
And the guy hung up on him.
Really?
Yes, he thought it was a prank.
Oh, wow.
That's the worst.
That is so bad.
Oh,
Actually, I blew it up a little bit.
Thank you. Now
So-
that I
Oh,
have to sit
good,
here and
good.
strain,
Yeah, there we go.
Okay,
But
as far as Genisys goes, they kind of gave away the plot twist.
Yeah, it did. That's one thing that I want is people to save the plot twist for me.
If I had went and saw it and then that happened, I would have been like, holy crap, that was because I actually think it's a good plot twist. That being said, I want to see it just because I'm curious, and I'm not a huge Terminator fan, but I do like the movies.
Yeah,
they're good movies.
But I don't know if I'm gonna go pay to go see it though.
Yeah, I'm not. It's just like the Jurassic World situation. If somebody wants to go and watch it and pay for me, then I'll watch it. But I'm not.
I don't see why you're so against it, because I thought of the same thing.
Jurassic World was really good.
I'm not going to go pay money at this point in time. There are other things that I would rather do than to go watch these when I can wait till they come out on DVD and Netflix. And it's just like Ant-Man. I will go watch Ant-Man because it's in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. These other two movies, yeah, they might be amazing, but I don't care. Like when it comes down to it, I just don't care. And I know a lot of people are like, and I'm like, oh, well, whatever. But
we'll see. I mean, I grew up. My family, we would watch Jurassic Park.
Oh, I did
1,
too.
2,
but
3, like all the time. So I always loved it.
But it's just not something that I'm going to, go out of my way to watch. So can't find you guys on Google Hangouts. Someone invite me. Well, we're right here, so I don't know what's going on, Nick.
Like there's been a couple people that says they can't find us on Google Hangouts.
Well, just watch us on
the YouTube.
On YouTube, we're going back and forth.
I have a Canadian accent. Thanks.
You do have a little bit of a Canadian accent, but that's a good thing.
Yeah, I like Canadian, so you're all good. But I'm if they would have kept the plot twist, I would have went and watched Genisys in the theater. Plus, it has Khaleesi in it, which is your last name, by the way. I don't know if you caught that, but anytime I see your name, Steve, I automatically think Khaleesi for some reason.
It's Kasan.
There's a chance.
Well, it has his middle name.
I know.
And it all melts
I know.
together.
I'm just being a
You're the
wise
mother
and Zach
of
can't
dragons.
read, so that also has.
At least I know the Game of Thrones people's names instead of your made up whatever.
Hey, I know who I'm talking about. You might not know who you're talking about.
yeah. Lord Danish.
I know who exactly who I'm thinking of.
Oh, but yeah, I'm not gonna go watch it, but yeah,
I might. I don't know. It all depends.
if Robbie buys me my ticket,
I will watch it at some point.
Yeah, I'll watch it at some point, but it's not something that I'm going to go out and do.
So,
now, sorry, I was going to answer another question.
Okay.
Nick had Game of the Year so far. Game of the Year so far.
Well, I haven't really played that many games, so
so far we've had Dying Light, we've had Batman Arkham Origins, we had Dragon Age, we had Dragon Ball Z, which is not in that topic pile. What else have we had? That's Destiny's last year.
Yeah.
Smash was last year.
Smash was last year.
So those are the big three that I can think of. If you can think of any other ones that are out right now,
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
that is sure. We'll put that in there. Did I say Batman Arkham Knight?
You did.
Okay. Yeah. As of now, I'm putting my hat on Batman Arkham Knight just because it's the biggest game that I played so far. And Dragon Age is not this year. That's last year.
It was last year.
Yeah. So that's not in there. So it's Batman Arkham Knight. You have Mortal Kombat
and Dying Light.
That was in January. So those are the big ones right now. You're going to have Metal Gear Solid later this year. You're also going to have.
We'll stick with the ones that come out.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just filling out the year. Yeah, Metal Gear Solid. You have Gears of War Ultimate Edition, which that shouldn't be in Game of the Year because it's already came out. So far, mine's going to be Batman Arkham Origins. I mean, Night. I keep wanting to say Origins for some reason.
I don't know. Like Dying Light's a good game and everything, and I like the idea behind it. But I'm gonna go with the group consensus and say Batman. From what little bit I played of Batman, I love the fighting style. I love the way it looks. I'm sure when I start playing it that I probably will not stop playing it.
Batman?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm actually going to start it after we do this podcast.
Nice. Now, the thing that I love,
besides me and other men, Oh, congratulations, by the way.
Anyway,
We had to go there.
the thing that I'm really liking about Batman is all the little homages to the animated series. In Oracle's tower, the Watchtower, you turn around and you see this poster. Now, this is the best thing ever. It's the Gray Ghost.
Yeah.
Like
Really?
this poster, like movie poster of the Gray Ghost in, and it has like a movie title. And I was just like, oh my God, that
That's
is
cool.
so cool. You know, they talk about Metropolis. They do all these references that I can't think of one right now, but there was one that I literally just laughed out loud. Like it was just, yeah, it was just hilarious because it was a reference to something that happened in the animated series that was funny. But it does so well of conveying this huge canon that has been built around Batman that I am just super happy with it. One thing, I almost crapped my pants when Man-Bat showed up. Like, he's in the game. That is so awesome. And if I ruined that, I'm sorry. It's not that big of a thing, but it was just so cool to see that small of a character that had, it started off, you know, on Leather Wings, started off the animated series and everything. Actually, what started off, I think it was Leather Wings. I know that's on the first disc or whatever. But anyway, you're zip lining up to the top of a ledge of a building, and you grab on it, and you just see this huge bat face just come across and just scare the mess out of you. And when it's 3 o'clock in the morning, you almost scream out in terror. But it's just an awesome game, and I can't wait for you two to play it. I know you're going to start it, so that's going to be really awesome. But let's see if we got any more. What else?
While
y'all
you're waiting, I came
Favorite Pokemon.
Let me finish this.
Okay.
And then,
no, we're not going to finish this.
I came across something on the internet which I laughed. It's called the breakup plant. It's where you if you're wanting to break up with your significant other, like you plant it in a nice little, whatever.
Voss.
You put them in the Voss after they're grown.
Amy hates it when I say Voss.
But you put it in.
She hates
there.
what? Voss?
Voss.
It starts
She's
growing.
like,
Voss.
yeah, Voss.
Why Voss?
Because it sounds pretentious.
But anyway,
Voss sounds pretentious?
Yes, Voss.
How does Voss sound pretentious?
Instead of vase. I think it's just peasants say vase. I say Voss. So it is pretentious.
Wow. But anyway, you grow it with that significant other, and when the leaves spread, it gives a cheesy breakup line, like this isn't working out or whatever. So I think it would be, if I get in a relationship with someone and it's about time to break up. If you see me starting a garden with them, you should probably know that it's about to end.
Hey Robbie,
Next time we do a live show, I'm gonna get a breakup plant. And I'm just gonna plant it right here and just drop the
We
mic
had
and leave.
7 viewers. We have 6 now. Thank you for watching, guys.
Yeah, thanks for coming along.
Yeah, we appreciate
on this
you
magical journey.
you coming on and watching and everything. But make sure that every Tuesday you watch. And we lost another one, but whatever. We don't need you.
We're getting them a breakup plant.
Yeah, they got a breakup plant, but we got another one back. Anyway, you can watch
Ashlyn,
our podcast or just
my
listen
little
to
sister
podcasts.
just asked us a question. Let's give who's 3 of your favorite Pokemon in the anywhere from the original.
Any way you want it, that's the way you need it.
Any way you want it.
But anyway, give you 3.
We just got a copyright strike.
Yeah, we did.
We gotta be careful.
But anyway,
I'm kidding. Our rendition is not close enough.
now does this have to be in order or just?
Just 3 that you like.
Well, as far as the original starters go, I've got to go with Squirtle. It's the one I always picked.
There's nothing wrong with.
Anyway, go ahead.
Squirtle. I've always been a big Mewtwo fan, even though he was a villain, but he saw the error of his ways.
It was such a sad and emotional moment of my childhood in that movie.
Yeah, it was.
Hey, it built a lot of kids though. Like it literally, like it helped mold people to understand that, hey, it's okay to be
we're
different.
all different, but we're all the same on the inside.
Yeah. Except me, I'm a socket.
My
like I would have
third.
flipped it right back around.
Who's my third? Rapidash.
Bastard.
I would say I'm a pretty big Haunter fan. I do like Haunter. I used him a lot growing up. Mr. Mime. I'm just kidding.
And then the pixel.
Yeah, the polygon thing.
No, like if you had the Game Shark and you went out into the ocean, like you.
Oh, missing no.
Yeah.
Yep.
I liked using Staryu. Staryu was really cool. I liked him.
Shout out to Game Shark. Do you remember using a Game Shark?
Oh,
yeah.
Like I know I had one for my Game Boy and I had one for my PlayStation 1, and you'd put it in, you pick your cheat codes that you want, and then you'd put it in the game. Like that was so.
That's how I got Mew.
And now there's really, except for like GTA, there's really no cheat codes.
Because they devoid your gamer score or your trophies that you
and
get.
I'm not touching that.
Oh yeah, no,
I treasure mine.
Oh yeah,
but
99 rare candy, 99 master balls.
I would say my third would be that's a hard one. I'd say Charmander, because I always use the fire.
Oh, welcome our 7th viewer. Thank you for watching. My number 1, Charizard. Straight up.
Typical.
I don't care. Charizard was a beast. Wink. Second, Rapidash.
Rapidash is
Just
awesome.
because I'm a huge Mustang fan. Like I drive a Mustang and everything. Not to sound conceited, but just, the pony. That is wapaka, wapaka. That was just awesome.
Is that the sound it makes?
Wapaka. And then the alligator, I kept Typhoon.
Crocodile?
Whatever. Yeah, that one. That was in Gold and Silver.
Yeah.
He was my favorite. Just
His
because
final evolution for alligator was pretty
It's
awesome.
Yeah. It was so beast.
Plus, you also had the he kind of looked like the Florida Gators. Like that's why I picked him. He just looked awesome.
What about the cuddly, lovable Piplup? The little pink one.
I don't know if you remember this, Robbie, but when we got, I believe it was Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and we did this little tournament, and you had the Flaffy that you named Sheeper.
and
he's that kind of guy.
We got so angry at that.
Like me, I think it was me, Jake, Derek, and Willis. We all got up and we were doing. We trained for months. Our Pokemon battle.
I want to be the very best. No one ever was.
Dun, 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 dun.
Copyright strike number 2.
But well, I know what song's going at the end of this podcast.
Yeah, but I'm the guy that I tried my hardest to get under the skin of everybody that I'm friends with.
And you did a very good job.
I just like to push buttons. I'm a button masher. But anyway.
Yeah, look at your freaking Mortal Kombat.
I had a Flaffy, which is a sheep Pokemon, an electric sheep Pokemon. And just to spite my friends, I named him Sheeper, Sheeper. And it worked in getting under everybody's skin. And I lost in the first round, but I still had my fun. That's all that matters.
I would have trained it up to where it was just an awesome,
they were
Pokemon.
all, I think we got up to like, level 60s on everything?
Something like that.
He was a force to be reckoned with, but
yeah.
Put all my rocks on Flaffy.
No,
I mean Sheeper.
Now, Jason says I talked to my wife into watching Terminator this weekend. It better not suck, or I won't hear the end of it. You're definitely right, Jason. You don't ever want to watch something with your significant other and it suck, because then they're not going to listen to your suggestions.
Yeah, because you brought me out and this sucked. And that's usually what you're going to get, and they'll never trust your judgment again.
I will say the reviews I've read for that movie have not been kind to it.
Just like that one time when I told Brett he saw the movie Crank, and I was like, "Yeah, man, this is a good movie. You should totally buy it." Brett never listens to me when I tell him to buy a movie.
I can see why.
Oh, this is awesome for all of you people that loved The Last of Us. Nolan North, one of the voice actors for the series. He was in a recent interview for a panel, and he says, I know they're doing a Last of Us 2, but my character in Last of Us kind of had an untimely demise. So there you go. If you loved Last of Us, which I loved it was an amazing game. I played it on the PlayStation 3 when it came out. it is one of the most gorgeous games I have ever played. And it looks realistic. The style, the feel of the game. It's not easy. It's not an easy game. It takes time. You've got to really know what you're doing with it. But if you want a cinematic experience, Naughty Dog does an amazing job to look at,
They're
look at Uncharted and all of that.
All their games and everything, like it looks like a movie.
Mhm.
More than most games now look like a movie, but they do a very good job of taking it to that next step and everything just looking flawless.
Yeah, that's a Sting shirt, Khaleesi. So, but I'm a Last of Us 2. I don't know where they can go. Have you played it? You don't have
No.
PlayStation 3. I know Nick played it, and from the ending that happened, I'm not going to spoil it. I don't know what they will do with it. I don't know if they'll continue with Joel and Ellie's.
Olstein.
Not Olstein. Lord God, no.
Nobody knows who that guy is.
Yeah, they do. If they know what televangelist is, they know what that is. But I think it's going to be an awesome game if they make it. It could be, they could totally go with some other people that you don't know, and it still would be really, really interesting, but you won't be as invested.
Yeah.
So
I've heard people talking about that game. I hate that I don't have a PlayStation and I wasn't able to play it.
if you bought a PlayStation 4, you could have played it.
But I bought an Xbox One, and I'm very happy with my choice. But anyway, like from everything that I've heard from everybody, it was a great game.
Oh yeah.
And from the gameplay that I've seen of it, it would have been a game that I would have played.
Yeah, definitely. It is so immersive, and you actually care about the characters, and that's one thing that I really love about video game. It's become something more than just a platformer or just awesome gameplay from like Quake and Doom and all of that back in the day, to something that actually can convey more of a story that you get more immersed in than, say, a movie or something.
Because you're spending an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours, with a character in a movie, but you can spend up hours upon hours upon hours with this game character. Just like State of Decay. Like I fell in love with one of the guys that I was using. This guy was awesome.
You fell in love with him?
Fell in love because he was such a badass.
Well,
Sorry,
hey,
my family, if you're watching, I didn't mean.
Hey, guess what?
But he got cut you off. But I had him with the best equipment that you can go out, and all of a sudden I saw this giant, huge monster-like zombie. Shot him in the face, and he rips me in half.
Good.
And
I'm glad he did.
In that game, when someone dies, they don't come back.
They don't.
That actually brings up a good point, and I was talking about this with someone at lunch today. We've mentioned this too on the show, that the market's kind of becoming oversaturated with superhero movies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to get even more with DC now making like Flash, Green Lantern, and basically playing catch up.
Yeah. Well, and you think, you look at the trends that's happened in the last 10 years. You had zombie movies.
Yep.
You had vampire movies. Now it's superhero movies.
But and this is what I'm getting to. Someone, I don't know who it is or who can do it, but but someone needs to make a good video game adaptation. I know it'll be tough, but if one person can do it, whether it's Halo, whether it's The Last of Us, something with a great story, if you can make a successful adaptation, that's going to open the floodgates. Because there are so many games that could be made into movies.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
But they've all been unsuccessful.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
The only one that's been semi-successful, and even at that point, it was not that great of a movie, was the Hitman movie. It's the better one that has came out.
I enjoyed it to a certain point.
But it wasn't extremely successful.
Exactly. And, you've got all these games that have spawned books even. And the books are awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't read much of them, but I've read some of Mass Effect books, and they're awesome.
If they the universe they need to, since Star Wars is such a success, to redefine the space genre, they need to do Mass Effect.
I totally
They
agree.
don't have to do Shepard. There's so many stories that they can go and do.
Like do a story about, you know, even some of the side characters like Garrus or Liara, or you know,
it doesn't even have to be those characters. It could be something where it's totally different.
talk about the war between the Solarians and the lizard
The
people.
Krogans.
Krogans.
Or you could do the one where it's where the humans are first discovering the FTL travel, where they fight the Turians. That would be interesting, and that would flush out that part of the lore and everything a little bit more. And I think that would be really, really cool.
I got a comment.
This is from Steve. There's one what.
The first Silent Hill, the problem with video game adaptions is you spend long hours with a game. I mean, I totally agree with that. And that was in the conversation I had earlier today. I brought up that point because you spend so much time with characters that it kind of limits you getting to care and know about the characters again when you have the limits of a 2.5 hour movie.
Yeah, the only way I could see that being successful would be something like the CW does, where it has, you know, not necessarily them, have like HBO do it, where it's going to have the higher production value, or even Netflix, where you can spend hour upon hour. You can have a 13 episode, you know, season with an hour each.
I think that's where a lot of these are going to start going, like Netflix originals or HBO originals, because you, like you said, I mean,
Silent Hill was made into a movie.
You can't build that bond with the characters like you would when you play countless hours in a game. But if you span it between 13 1-hour TV shows on Netflix or wherever, you're going to be able to get that more of a bond. I shouldn't talk with my hands so much.
That's all good.
But I mean, it gives you a better chance to build the bond, and you get to understand more, and you get to spend way more time with them than just 2 hours or whatever.
Yeah. I'll throw this out to the listeners we have. What's one video game series that you would like to see adapted into a movie? Now, I will say, I mean, you guys know what the obvious answer is going to be for me, but besides that, I'd love to see Mass Effect. I'd love to see Halo. I think both of those would be
Pong, Tetris.
Tetris would be interesting.
I'd watch.
You know what would happen if you watch the Mass Effect movie?
I'd finally play the games.
No, like they would load the movie, they would have a cut just made for you. Everybody would die, and it would play. Boom, 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 boom.
I remember that. Oh, I will bring this up. This is something I watched on the Nerdist Facebook page. Somebody used the Unreal game engine and made like a super realistic version of Mario 64.
Oh, cool.
And it looked incredible.
Oh, we got a lot of comics. Hold on.
And it kind of made me it made me kind of envious that what is it?
And Steve said one of the
Adaptions.
There we go. Movie would be Gears of War. I totally agree. Steve, have you read the books? The books are written by Karen Travis. She is amazing. She was a war correspondent back in the day. She's written Republic Commando. She's done a bunch of stuff. She knows how squad-based stuff. If you haven't read them, read them for sure, because they are just amazing.
And what they mean by crunchy is, Ashland texted me, we're getting some kind of static over the feed.
Kind of static. It might be the mixer.
So
But you guys keep talking. I'll mess
We
with
will.
it.
We'll tinker with it. But
what's something you would want to see?
Frogger. I'm just kidding.
And there goes all of our viewers. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you for watching, everybody.
Yeah.
While we work and tinker with this.
Something I would like to see. I feel like they're close to being able to do it, but something like with Halo or something like that.
Don't say Destiny, because Destiny has no story.
I want to see Destiny into them. I'm just kidding.
Well, then you're going to see the most boring piece of crap.
I would like to
out
see
there.
Halo because I grew up Like
Oh, yeah.
Halo was a big thing in our lives growing up. 'Cause, I mean, we spent countless hours. And
Well, if you like him so much, why don't you marry him?
I can now.
I've got a proposition for you, Zach.
Oh,
How about after Ben Affleck's run as Batman is finished,
Yeah.
they adapt the Arkham games into movies?
I would love it.
I would. Be
I
okay
would
with
love
that.
it.
The stories in those games, not those games.
Those games.
Those games are amazing. The storytelling and everything
Well,
that you get to do. And
The
it's
first two are
awesome.
amazing because you have one of the greatest Batman writers working on it, Paul Dini. And Paul Dini was just amazing. He worked with the animated series, and he actually wrote those games. He didn't do Origins. Origins was still good, but this one's good still. But those Arkham Asylum and City were amazing because of the writing that was put into it.
They did a very good job on it.
Who would play Batman? I'm not sure. In that case, the only person I would love to see play it would be the voice. It comes down to the voice, and I want Kevin Conroy to always play Batman. I don't care what happens. If somebody has to lip sync to Kevin Conroy, then do it.
For a second there, I thought you were going to take the Vin Diesel route.
I almost did.
I was
almost
like,
did.
no Vin Diesel.
Yeah, I almost did. So, what is this? I have not read the books, but Gears is a no-brainer. You take the aliens, but inject with some set piece. Yeah, it would be it would be an easy way. You wouldn't have to go too far out of it. Production value. You get some big hulking guys to, be, the Gears, Delta Squad.
Like me.
Everybody's going to love Coltrane because Coltrane is funny.
It's going to be Coltrane.
Where he tells off the Queen. Is it 2 or 3? It's 2. And 2, it's like, we're going to whoop up on you. and that's one of my favorite things from that. And just from the books are really good for one reason. It fleshes out the story and makes you care about these characters because in the game, especially the first one, they seem very macho. They're just these big hulking guys that have no feelings. But in the books, it fleshes out Hoffman's relationship with Marcus Phoenix, Dom, the relationship between Baird and Cole. It does a lot of stuff. The relationship between.
There's more storytelling on that aspect.
And it just makes you realize what a dire situation it is. So definitely, if you haven't read the books, you can get them on audible.com, which is not our sponsor.
This is Audible. But, Jason actually brings up a good point. He says, I would even watch the Dark Knight Arkham movies if they were CG like the game.
Dark Knight Arkham. What do you mean, Dark Knight Arkham?
If they adapted the Arkham series into a movie, make them CG.
Oh, yeah. You could totally do that.
And then you'd have Kevin Conroy as the voice of Batman.
They look sexy.
Yeah, the graphics on those games are
really good. They look amazing, and I know it'd be about the same production time as a regular movie and everything. Yeah. So I think that would be a great way and tell the Killing Joke.
Speaking of Batman, I came across someone was talking about this. How many billionaires do we have in this world right now?
I'm one of them.
And none of them have become Batman or tried to craft these things. I know, speaking for myself, and I know you guys possibly would too, but if I had that kind of money, I might not fight crime, but I would come up with some really cool gadgets and play around and dick off a little bit.
We had Uncharted would be one movie. That's from Ali Irby. I said your name online, but there you go. And that would be a good one.
Good job.
Well, whatever. They creep on us all the time.
Just like I got it told.
Yeah. Ashlyn also asked, what was your favorite Nintendo 64 game?
None of it, because I hate Nintendo.
Well, I'm good. I'm glad you finally admitted it. You just came out and said it.
I didn't have a Nintendo system growing up. I had the NES to start out for. I didn't have an N64. I was a PlayStation guy, straight up. So I went NES, PlayStation 1.
I had NES, Nintendo 64, Sega Genesis, PlayStation, Xbox, PlayStation 2, Xbox 360, and then the 1. But mine would definitely be for the Nintendo 64 would be Pokemon Stadium.
That's a good one.
Because I remember playing it all the time, and even now, Like, I think it was, 4 or 5 years ago, we even brought it out and played against each other
Mhm.
and stuff like that.
I mean,
Well, I think
mine's-
we should actually do a Pokemon Stadium Let's Play at some point in time.
Oh, I'd
that'd be
down.
great.
That would be really, really fun.
Mine's Zelda Ocarina of Time.
That came in such a close second because I remember spending so many hours playing that game.
Oh, there's Jake.
Shooting my little bow at the little Dooku spiders or whatever they're called.
Yeah, the Deku Scrubs.
That was close. It's been a long time since I've watched it.
Since y'all have y'all's N64, my favorite PlayStation 1 game.
Ratchet and Clank.
No, that wasn't a PlayStation 1. That was a PlayStation 2 game.
Oh, it was?
Crash
My bad.
Crash
Digimon.
Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot.
Love
was
Crash
amazing.
Bandicoot.
It was the first platformer. That's me scratching my foot. Sorry. That was me first getting into gaming was Crash Bandicoot, actually sitting down and playing it. And other than that, Gran Turismo. I used to be
Gran Turismo was
racing fiend.
Mhm.
Gran Turismo was my jam. The first one was okay. 2, man, me and Joseph, my brother, we put in so much time with that. So much time. Here's a question.
And
Unless we have
I
any
might have
other.
an answer.
I don't know what the Battlefront 4 means.
Oh, I guess what are our thoughts on it? I mean, I'm excited for it.
You mean Battlefront 3? It's 3.
What? Basically the new Star Wars
Okay.
Battlefront.
It
is what it is.
was flipping amazing.
It was the best game at E3 in my opinion.
Yeah, by far.
Fallout.
No, graphically and excitement for me. I've never played Fallout. It looks great. It looks fun. But you bring in that Star Wars element and it's everything.
I'm more anticipating Star Wars than I am Fallout, but I feel like Fallout had a better preview to it and everything and talk.
Well, they had a lot more time. This was
Yeah.
in a, you have a 90-minute conference. You only have this much time.
Exactly. But I'm super stoked for it. I can't wait to play it, to have the controller in my hand and see the Star Wars font come on. Because it's been so long since I've actually played a Star Wars game besides, Knights of the Old Republic on the PC.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm ready for a new Star Wars game that I can immerse myself in, like, fully, just all over.
Just all over, neck,
All
face,
over.
neck, and chest.
Yep.
One thing we have Steve asked, DC animation is on fire. All their films are top notch, perhaps as traditional animation for the Arkham series. DC animation, the best.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hands
If,
down.
if they did animated Arkham movies, I'd watch them.
Oh yeah, definitely. Even like I don't care for it, but the Gotham Knight series where they had several different animation styles and they had several different stories in it was really good. Their version of Dark Knight Returns, you can ask Derek how geeked out I was.
I would read the text, but they're on my old phone.
Yeah,
Oh my god! And this is at like 4:00 in the morning.
Yeah, I basked in the holiness that is Batman. But DC is doing an amazing job with their animation. I didn't really care for some of the newer stuff that they're putting out. I haven't watched all of it, but their older stuff, Mask of the Phantasm, hand down, best movie, best animated movie.
Mm-hmm.
They can't be too careful with all those weirdos.
You can't be too careful with all those weirdos around.
Now we have a question from Jason. Do you think that
Momoa?
we'll ever do an updated version of Resident Evil 2, the greatest video game ever made? Now, they did a version of Resident Evil 1 this year. They did an update on it, and I think they'll do 2.
They
Yeah.
have to because
No, they don't.
I
I say no.
Listen.
Don't do it.
I think they
Why?
should. I've
Just to spite.
just to spite
Fair
it.
enough.
That's how it is. But growing up playing the Resident Evil games, watching the movies, just loving. I'm a huge zombie fan. Like anything zombies, I love. If they don't make a second one to it, it would be super dumb because that's everybody I've ever talked to, hands down, that's their favorite one.
Yeah, I think with them having to cancel the Guillermo del Toro Hills, I think that's what it was going to be called. I think that they're trying to get something out there where people want to play and will be invested. And that's definitely the way to do it. And you see a lot of remakes coming out, and then you see the remake that people have been just like, give it to us, and that's Final Fantasy VII. That was a huge bomb that Sony dropped.
Oh my gosh.
But it's not a exclusive. It comes first to PlayStation, but that is a huge thing. Final Fantasy VII has been something that's been begged for years and years and years.
A lot of people say that's the greatest game ever made.
Well, when it comes out, we'll know for sure because I've never played it. I've never played a Final Fantasy game.
I posted it on Facebook.
I saw your post.
Yeah, I said I've never played a Final Fantasy game before, but that's going to change because I'm definitely getting the remake.
I just want to see what it is. I'm sure they won't change too much other than graphically, but it's something definitely to get into. But which E3 was just a huge show. But there you go, Jason. I think that they'll make it since they made the first one. All right, Steve, what we got? What can be a great adaptation is Mech Warrior. They had some good stories and lore. I played one Mech Warrior and it was crap, but it was like the later into the Mech Warrior stuff.
Yeah,
man,
the
it's
early
just
stuff was good.
I can't really talk on that just because I haven't played it. So
I dabbled in that whole area, and I mean, from the gameplay that I played and from talking to other people about it, they enjoyed it, and what little bit I played of it, I enjoyed. So I mean, can't remember why I didn't put a lot of time into it, but I didn't. But
it's a difficult game. It is.
That's probably
why.
I didn't have my game sharp.
It would be interesting. I think that the big robots are something that sells. So
Definitely.
Look at Pacific Rim. People love that for some reason.
Because you have giant robots and giant alien things.
Yeah, it's just a guy movie when you get down to it. I can't talk tonight. I can't help it. Just get over it.
Takes the best time when we do a live podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Testosterone-driven fun ride. One thing I would love to see, which would be really hard to do because it has such a convoluted story, but would be Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
Cut it down to something that audiences would want to watch.
You've got a character that people would want to root for.
Exactly.
Solid Snake.
Snake, do Snake. Solid Snake. Don't do Boss.
Yeah.
That's where people get confused is because they look exactly the same, but they're two different characters. And I think that would, definitely, give Kojima something, which I'm not even going to get into Kojima and Konami and all of that, but I think it would, visually, even if they did CGI, would still be an amazing thing. So that would be another one. And Jake said, by the way, nice Mewtwo Pokeball. Ha, ha, ha.
Yeah, I wonder who got that for us from Christmas. Because I got Poliwhirl.
You did.
Poliwhirl or Poliwrath. I think it was Poliwhirl.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because no one likes you.
I like Poliwhirl. He's cute. I like Piplup. Everybody loves Piplup.
No, they don't.
Yeah, you do. You have a little plush Piplup doll in your room that you should cuddle with every night. I've seen it.
Well, I don't know why you've been watching me sleep lately. I told you to stop that.
It's a habit.
It is a habit.
Speaking
I'll never stop.
Of stalking, I did the...
that's an awful segue.
That's a
Robbie.
slippery slope that we're going
how
down.
Facebook had that thing where you do this thing where you click and it tells you who's your top stalkers.
Yeah.
Are you about to bring this up?
Well, I decided to do that, and I can only remember two. One was Zach, and a lot of it's because we do the Nerd Cave together,
And we like and share and all of that.
Stuff. But the number one stalker of Robert Rawls on Facebook is none other than Derek's mother.
I love it. When he showed me that, I busted out loud.
I sent it to the group chat.
Now,
Marshall was like, "I'm sorry you had to find out like this, Derek."
But I'll say this: how do you know that it's not me using my mom's page to stalk you?
The plot thickens.
Dun dun dun.
But again, it comes from her. Anytime I post anything about the Nerd Cave,
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
always like,
she's pretty much
number one supporter.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
It's just I figured that would be a pretty funny story to tell.
Now, Jake asked, any chance they'll make another KOTOR, this time for the Xbox One? I think that they would be smart if they did that, but I highly doubt that BioWare make another KOTOR for the Xbox One and PS4. I think it'll be cross-platform. It won't be just one system this time like it was for the first time. There's no money in it.
If they do it,
I don't think they will, to be honest.
I felt like that for the longest time. That
I think they're still trying to make the Old Republic work, which is not. It's out there to die.
That PC game.
Yeah, they're giving DLC away for free.
Yeah,
it's dying.
Like I played it, and I'm not huge into MMOs. I mean, I played it with you for a little while. I just couldn't get into it, and I love Star Wars. So,
yeah, I think that that we can see. I see them doing a Jade Empire before they do another KOTOR. Now, if they did KOTOR, I would be happy.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
I'd be super pumped. 'Cause, I mean, it came out how many years ago, and
It's been a long time.
still playing it on my PC.
Yeah, exactly. KOTOR 1 was one of the best
The
games ever
replay
made.
values on it is
KOTOR
amazing.
2, I liked it a little. I didn't like the story as better. I liked the combat system
The combat was way
better. Way
than
better in the
first one.
circle. I mean,
The
second.
story was okay, but it could have been better.
Yeah.
But I mean, hands down, fighting was way easier.
I just loved going into a room and just literally throwing my hand up and just electrocuting
Force
everybody.
yeah.
It was-
See, I was kind of more of like the gray Jedi because I could use Force lightning,
Mhm.
but didn't
I
go
was
full
just a
dark side.
straight up evil guy.
I can't play that way. Y'all know. Yeah, I mean, even some of the people who listen know that I cannot. Like, I say, hey, I'm going to start out. I'm going to get the achievements for being the dark
No.
side.
Never can do it.
I get about 3 missions in, and it's like, do you want to spare this person? Yeah, I'll spare them.
No.
Be evil.
You got to be evil, man. You got to be evil.
I can't.
All right, guys, start getting in your final questions now. We're coming into the last part of the show. So we're going to try to wrap it up. We're about an hour now. But if you want to find any of our stuff, go to the nerdcavenetwork.com. You can find Derek's show, which is the what? Tell them a little bit.
Which
about
is the Derek Diamond Experience, now on Thursdays on Nerd Cave Network, iTunes, and Stitcher. And one of my guests this week is going to be someone who is in the chat room, and that is Jason Robbins from the Pop Culture Palette.
Oh, nice.
So check that out on
And
Thursday.
drummer. He's also
And
a
drummer, we're going to be talking about his new band, Falls from Grace, and we'll be
Heard-
touching on some
like I
nerdy
talked-
stuff as
talked
well.
about on the PCP. I listened to a couple of the songs, and they sound really good.
And
I enjoyed it.
I won't say I do have in the works another big NFL related guest.
Me.
Yeah, because
Yes,
Zach
Zach
totally
Dykes.
plays in the NFL.
I did.
Yeah.
I was
He's
the punter.
backup long snapper.
Hey, I have developed a punting style. It's called the long punt. I just kick it really high up, and it has a nice hang time. So it just eats the clock up. It doesn't go very far, but it goes that really, really
So they
high
put
up.
you in when they want to kill the clock.
Oh, yeah. They want that short punt, where they're right there. They want to get him on the.
Where it doesn't
One or
go
two.
past the 5 yard.
Yeah, they were like right there, but they don't trust the field goal kicker. And they're like,
If they don't
Put
trust
Zach
a
in.
field goal kicker at like 10 yards, then
hey, I can't help that their field goal kicker sucks.
I
That's
doubt
why they
there's an
hired
NFL
me.
kicker that is that bad.
Anyway,
His name's Robbie, and that's
yeah.
why the kicker is so bad.
See, I'm the backup field goal kicker. So
I was trying to get you some playing time, so I started breaking people's legs.
I
But that's
appreciate
awesome.
it.
You got another, chance to.
well, it's nothing confirmed, but it's in the works.
Okay.
And
From
I
what
won't
hear,
say-
he has a nice facial hair, doesn't he?
and he's a former Steelers player.
Oh, nice.
I-
Nice.
I don't want to say
Definitely not me because I'd never play for the Pittsburgh Squeakers.
they wouldn't allow you to play for the Shittsburg
They want
Steelers.
me. They want
Sorry
me.
for my language.
No.
Anyway.
that's awesome. So,
KOTOR could use an update as well. That gets my vote.
Yeah,
No, I've got some other guests in the works as well, but it's a lot of waiting and see
Yeah.
kind of stuff. So
sitting, waiting, wishing. He is interviewing Jack Johnson. I'm totally lying.
No, I'm not interviewing Jack.
But yeah, we got your show, and then we've got ours on Tuesday, every Tuesday, which is the Nerd Cave podcast. You can check that out. We talk everything nerdy. You're watching it right now, so you know what it is.
Yeah.
And then every Monday, I know we're kind of jumping around the week. Every Monday we have Multiplayer Monday. It hasn't been multiplayer lately, but we'll be getting out some new content in July, and we'll be having top 5 videos in the month of July and August, and so forth and so on.
If you ever want to suggest a top 5, you can tweet us or email us or whatever you want.
Yeah, you tweet, whatever.
And
no plotting, just tweeting.
On Saturday nights we have Pop Culture Palette,
some PCP. If you want to get your fix, guys, you know where to come.
And we don't know an exact date yet, but Time for Comics will be returning soon.
At some point in time.
Yes.
We'll have Time for Comics eventually.
We're staying alive.
Staying alive.
But yeah, definitely. And if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel that most of you are watching on,
since Google's
some of you are on Google, 1 or 2 of you are on Google, but if you're on our YouTube channel right now and you have not subscribed, click the subscribe button for us, please. But that does it for me. Make sure that you check out all of our content. Make sure you check out today's episode of Multiplayer Monday where Batman twerks. Yeah, Batman twerks.
I have a professional twerking team that you guys don't know.
Batman twerks in the game, so definitely check that out. And I'm going to check one more time to see there are no questions, so we don't leave anybody out. We told you like 5 minutes ago that you could ask something, and I don't see anything. So yeah, there we go. That's going to do it for us this week. Thank you for watching. You can find us on Twitch, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Facebook, Nerd Cave Network.
The big one.
Yeah, Facebook. You can find us all there. Hey, we got an 8 viewer. Yay!
Too bad.
We're closing it out now. But you can find us all there. And, of course, nerdcavenetwork.com and our YouTube, of course. So this has been Zach,
Derek,
and Robbie.
Have a week. And we get one night. Good night, guys. Great show. Looking forward to tomorrow. Have a week.